Hi everybody, welcome back to Tea Time with Aloha and Coco. I'm Vicky and this is the making of Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party 2020 at home. So today I'm going to show you guys the ins and outs, tips, tricks, and my picks to create the perfect Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party at home this year. So as most of you guys know, the Disney park here in Orlando, Florida is opened and they are going and moving forward with foods, and they're moving forward with allowing guests to come in all the way through October 31st. Wearing costumes. So it's going to be something where they've modified their experience for guests so we can still feel like it's Halloween. However, some of the things that we love so much, like the fireworks show, the Boo to You parade, the trick-or-treating, that's out. So I decided to go ahead and create a whole entire Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party right here at home for my kids, and I want to share it with you guys. If you decide to go ahead and do this, make sure that you tag us on Instagram at Tea Time with Aloha and Coco. But before we get to that, let's get started with what to do to create your very own Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween at home. So one of the first things that I think about when I think of Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween is the feeling you get right when you walk in and you see two things. The first thing that you see is the sight of the pumpkins. So whether you're in Disneyland or whether you are in Magic Kingdom, there are large pumpkins sitting at the front of the park. The Magic Kingdom has two tiers of pumpkins where they have different cute little faces, and you can see the castle way in the distance. And in Disneyland, you have that giant pumpkin and the castle directly thereafter. So I wanted to create the illusion of walking in and seeing the castle and the pumpkins for the first time, just as it takes your breath away every single time that we go. So the first thing I decided to do, create this image. Now, how I decided to create the image was fairly simple. I actually wound up going to the My Disney Experience app on my phone during quarantine, and they actually posted up a ton of pictures of the most beautiful sights of their parks, some of them being the front of the castle for Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween, where you can see some of the projections. They also shared photos of the pumpkin wreath that they put up. They put up just a number of photos, and I decided to save them all. After I saved that set of photos, I decided to pick one in particular, and I decided to go online and do a little research. I wound up finding a company on Amazon that prints your images on very large backdrops, and I decided to go with this company to print this image. So I took that image, I sent it over to them, they took it and they printed it, and it got here. Here is a small little clip of my daughter seeing that image on a backdrop for the first time.
Happy Halloween.
It's Mickey's Not So Scary. It's really not so scary. Boo to you, boo to you.
So as you guys saw, it was very, very beautiful. The colors were very, very vivid. This cannot happen if your image is not of good quality. So if you're going to be doing that, make sure that it's a good image of good quality. If you do not have that image and you were not able to download it from the My Disney Experience app, I will be more than happy to share that with you guys. All you have to do is follow me at Tea Time with Aloha and Coco, and I will be more than happy to send that your way. In addition, I want to share with you guys the dimensions that I chose for that backdrop. So I'm going to post it right here. The dimensions I chose for that particular backdrop, as well as the price for that particular backdrop. You can choose to go smaller or larger. And of course, price depends on the sizing that you select. Another thing that I wanted to recreate was the illusion that you were sitting on the lawn when the fireworks show started. So one of the things that I did was pick up a couple of rolls of grass paper. Now there's tons of grass paper out there. I'm gonna show you guys the one that I ordered and selected to recreate the illusion of the Disney lawns. So I picked this grass paper up from Amazon. So I ended up picking up this particular roll, and it's called Better Than Paper because it is, you can wipe it clean, you can staple, and it won't show the holes, and most importantly, it doesn't rip. And that is what I decided to go with. And what I'm going to do is cover a patch of flooring in front of the castle so that it looks like the actual lawns. Up next, we're going to talk about trick or treating. Now, it's no Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party without the trick or treating. So this is what we decided to do. So the first thing I decided to do was create a long banner, because if you go to Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween, you know that when you're trick or treating and you're going in and out of rides, there's always a big sign outside that lets you know, like, this is where the candy is at. So that's what you guide yourself by when you go trick-or-treating. So I decided to reach out to my friends over at Custom Made Miami, and I sent an image that my husband was able to Photoshop for me, taking out dates. If you can see back here where the little candy corns are, there was a date there. There was more information in regards to the year that this particular image was taken. So he Photoshopped all of that out, and he was able to create an image the size that I wanted, a long banner. I would say this is about, I don't know, maybe 6.5 feet tall, and it's fairly thin. I would say, I don't know, about 2.5 feet wide. So I wanted to create a long banner so that it kind of calls out to my kids, like, this is where the trick-or-treating is gonna happen. Now, they do not have this image because this is my image. This is something I created with my husband. Clearly it's a Mickey Mouse, but we were the ones who Photoshopped all of the areas and numbers and everything out. So the ones who have the image, it's Tea Time, the one who has this image. So if this is something that interests you, make sure you contact me on Instagram at Tea Time with Aloha and Coco, and I'll get that to you. So this is the image we found online. As you can see, it was originally a menu, so we Photoshopped to create a banner. Next up, the actual trick-or-treating. So one of the things that I've noticed about trick-or-treating over at the parks is they usually have big, giant, like trash can looking bins. They're fairly large, and they're usually on wheels. So here is a sample of what I'm talking about. As you can see in the back, it's a wooden covered bucket. So we are just going to pick up a large trash can bin that you can find in many places, but more particularly either Amazon or Home Depot. They have different colors. Now, although this is fairly large, it is the look I'm going for. Once we cover it up, it is 20 gallons, $24.99 plus $5 shipping from Amazon. I do not like the look of a trash can, so my advice to you is wrap it the way they wrap it over at Magic Kingdom, and they usually do it with like wood looking adhesive, but you can go ahead and pick up this paper right here. This is from the Dollar Tree, and it comes in a roll. It's really not that crazy of an amount, but it's actually right here. It's 28 inches by 5 feet. So it's not that much. You could do with maybe 2 rolls. I selected 1. I'll see how it goes for me. But yeah, just you get like regular wood grain wrapping paper or adhesive. You can find both on Amazon, or you can find this wrapping paper in particular at the Dollar Tree. Up next, there's no Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween without 2 very special guests, and that's Mickey and Minnie. So we decided to opt out of having real characters, and we picked up these 2 Mickey and Minnie inflatables. They stand at 3.5 feet tall, and the girls love them. And one of the things I like about this is the fact that it makes for great photos. So if you have your backdrop ready, you plop these 2 on the sides, like the image that I shared with you guys earlier, and it makes for really pretty pictures. Not only that, but you can just use them over and over every single year, because it's not really going to be something that goes out of style. Mickey doesn't go out of style. So the next experience that every child loves, at least mine too adore, is when they go to the Disney parks and they buy a balloon, of course. So what I've done throughout the years is I've actually saved the weights for the balloon, the Mickey shaped weights. So I have somewhere along the lines of like 30, maybe 35 of those weights. And I decided one of the things that I really want to do is bring that image to life. So what I decided to do was do a little research. I went on Amazon, I went on a whole bunch of websites, and I looked for Mickey shaped balloons. And these are the ones I chose. They have the mini face, and they are 28 inches, Minnie and my friend Mickey. And I'm going to go ahead and buy like a small little helium tank thing and fill them up the night before the party, and add the little balloon weights to the bottom. Now, another thing that I wanted to tell you was you are going to find a whole bunch of options online for Mickey shaped balloons. They're the ones that are like the regular balloon. They're like the latex balloons, and they show this beautiful image of like a Mickey face with like 2 round ears. But if you look at the reviews, almost everyone says that the face fills up and then the ears look like 2 little bear ears. Like it never ever, like the air doesn't get to the ears, so it looks like a bear. So I decided to go with these because these were a safer option. You know, it's Mickey and Minnie. I've seen these balloons in the park, like the actual face. I'm gonna show you guys like an image that I found online where they do use these balloons. So as you can see, it's more so just creating the illusion, and I decided to go with these.
Next time on Tea Time with Aloha and Coco.
That's one of my favorite things to see. This was one of those things that I needed to have. And then when we get to $2,500, yeah.